Welcome to the Brian Wright Show audio experience, a podcast dedicated to transforming lives, careers, and businesses. And now your host. He's a husband, father of two, an international business and life coach, the founder and CEO of New Patient Group and WrightChat, and a consultant and global speaker for some of the finest companies in the world, such as Invisalign and many others. Now, here's your host, Brian Wright.
Hey everybody, welcome inside the broadcast booth. Brian Wright here, the Brian Wright Show, and welcome in to another edition of the podcast. Today's going to be a short one, and it's all about my mom. All right, it's not all about my mom, but she's the one that triggered today's episode. Wanted to get one out and kind of put some end to some confusion out there that I believe a lot of you have. I hear this terminology thrown around. I'm going to have longer, much more in-depth podcasts about this. And honestly, if you go back and listen to all of our podcasts, all of them really are about all the touch points and interactions about what I'm going to talk about. But I want to clear something up. I hear the words hospitality, experience, customer service, things like that thrown all over the place. And when you ask people, what is the definition of any one of those words? Nobody can give you the definition. I asked last year at Align Summit, I think it was in October, I spoke at Invisalign Summit, and a great event. They always are. Those are some first-class events to go to. But the theme was experience matters. And I asked 15 people there, what is the definition of experience? And not one of them could answer the question. And if you really think about it, you may be listening right now going, well, damn, I don't even know the definition. Like, that's something I want to be good at. I find it important to deliver a good experience to my employees and my customers, or those that I want to become customers or patients of mine. But I don't know the definition. Today, I'm going to clear it up. My mom, we're sitting at dinner, and it was over. And some of you have heard me talk about this already. I have several podcasts coming because this is a really intriguing thing for me based on what I teach. Is that right down the street, it's a 20-minute drive from our house in Colorado Springs, is the only 5-star, 5-diamond hotel resort in the world. And you want to talk about a place that makes any other business just go, I thought we were good, but now I know there's a whole nother level to get to. That's the place to go to. You take your team there. It is ridiculous. Well, the Italian place there, Ristorante del Lago, is a very good restaurant, and the podcast, the head chef and waiter are podcast listeners of mine, and they implement a lot of the things that we teach all of you out there, and it's really cool. So it's cool to go there. It's cool that they listen to the podcast, all that stuff, blah blah blah. But we're eating dinner, and Mom's like, after all these years, you've told me a million times what you do, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I laugh every time she says that. But I told her, look, for years, it was really hard to explain what we do because we do a lot. We teach a lot. And many of you out there that are customers know the program is really infinite. It is an ongoing marathon journey that never has a finish line because customer experience and employee experience, that there is no finish line. You don't go to an event and come back and go, okay, like, I'm the best leader of all time. I can check it off. Don't need to work on it anymore. Or sales skills or hospitality skills. Those are infinite things. So when you hire us, the goal is us to be a division of your business that is constantly working on things with you, walking you through the journey, holding you accountable, role-playing with your team, doing things that 99.9% of businesses in any industry wouldn't even think of because their mindset is we just need more customers, more new patients, more advertising. Meanwhile, they don't need any of that. So what I told her, and summed it up very easily, is I teach employee and customer experiences for a living. Now, today, I'm going to briefly mention employee experiences and how it fits into this journey and this definition of experience that I'm about to give all of you and the true psychological definition. But the main point today is focusing on customer experience and the definition of that and diving in. Because I don't want any of you out there, especially, our family members, our customers, sometimes it goes easily forgotten exactly what it is you need to focus on in your vision and what you should do to truly motivate your team and things like that. So I want to dive back into really what this definition is today to refresh a lot of your memories, as well as all of you out there. And like I said in the last episode, I think it was the last episode, We have downloads now of this podcast in 127 countries and territories, which is just amazing. And it keeps growing. And I want to make sure, because I can promise you, the vast majority of listeners out there and those that watch too on YouTube, hey there, everybody, is you don't know the definition of this, and you run around blind in your organizations throwing these words around like experience and hospitality and customer service. And all three of those are different. I'm going to talk more about that here momentarily. But you need to know exactly what it is that you're striving for. You can't just throw these terminologies around. They're not going to mean anything. They're not going to mean anything to you. They're not going to mean anything to the team. You're going to run around blind. You're not going to have any goals. You're not going. It's just not going to make sense, and it's not going to come together for you as an organization. Employees out there too. When I'm about to talk about and go into this definition, this is why this podcast has so many employees that listen to this, because these are the things that if you can fully grasp how important you are and how every word you speak can make or break a sale. It could make or break a referral. It could make or break whether somebody goes from a patient or a customer to a super fan, which is what all of your goals should be, is how do you take somebody that's just a customer or just a patient and turn them into a fan? And that goes way beyond the final clinical result. It goes way beyond the food as a chef. It goes way beyond your product and your service. And I want to clear up the definition for all of you so you all have a 100% full comprehension of exactly what customer experience is. Because I think so many of you out there think that customer experience is your people being nice. I hear it all the time at events or people that call us. They schedule an online consultation with us, or I come off stage and they're talking to me and things like that. And the misconception big time is that, oh yeah, Judy that sits up front, oh, she's so sweet. Our customers love her. Right. So boom, your mind right there doesn't even go to, well, guess what? That's one piece of 1,000-piece recipe. Right. Customer experience defined is the totality of cognitive, affective, sensory, and behavioral responses of a customer during all stages of the consumption process. So this refers to every touch point a consumer has with your business, pre-purchase and post. And that, everybody, is the definition of experience. You can't jumble that with hospitality, because hospitality is a skill set that is taught, as well as there's a lot of inheritable traits that come with it. Hospitality is an ingredient that goes into making sure every single one of those touch points before and after purchase is exceptional. Customer service is when you get what you want by delivering more than expected. Right. So that's a scenario where your business wins, but your customer, or those you want to become customers, believe they received more than expected during every interaction of the consumption process, pre and post sale. Hey, everybody, Brian Wright. Let's step away from today's podcast. Hope you're enjoying it. And obviously, the theme today is customer experience as well as employee experience. I'm going to mention a little bit down the road in today's episode. But speaking of experiences, we have the ultimate people first business event coming your way. We've got the ultimate customer and employee experience event coming your way. And it's our iconic event this year in Nashville, Tennessee, actually on my birthday weekend. So come celebrate my birthday in Nashville with us. It's going to be a beautiful hotel, and it's a full team iconic event. Going to put the link in the description below. Click that, go check it out, learn more, schedule a free consultation with us so we can explain how your team and you will benefit greatly from this event that is unlike anything that you will ever attend. If you think Michelin star restaurant experiences, 5-star hotel experiences, and how those experiences, those real sales skill sets, hospitality skill sets, leadership skill sets, imagine how those implemented into your business, into your practice in our niche, could help transform your business, your practice, to attract and create a better culture, attract more new patients, increase conversions, sales at a higher price, revenue, patient compliance, all the stuff. This is going to be unlike anything you've ever attended. So make sure to click the link below, schedule a consultation with us, and it's going to be great to see you there, because you'll be able to interact with all of our customers that are coming, that have been with us for years, that are already developing and implement the skill sets, implementing these in a high levels into their practices. and interact with them and be able to see how their employees role play versus how your employees role play. And role play is a really important topic because all the events you've probably been to before, massive audiences, you're switching speakers, things like that, no personal attention. This event, your team's going to be role played with, practiced with, put into difficult situations, every scenario you can think of. So they come back armed with the real skill sets to actually implement the ideas, because you've all been to events where you say, hey, that's a good idea, and you don't implement squat. This event, you're going to implement things at a very high level because we're going to practice, give you the personal attention, the skills necessary and required for you to go back to your practice and make real change happen. So we hope you see you there. Like I said, come celebrate my birthday with me. Hope to see you and your entire team in Nashville, Tennessee this coming October. And now let's get back to today's podcast. So these are different skill sets, right? Just like sales, in order to maximize your success and get what you want by delivering more than expected, all members of your team, regardless of position, right, they need to be trained on high-level sales skill sets, right? So when you look at the customer experience journey before and after in that consumption process, this is why your culture is impeccable, right? This is why ongoing leadership training is so critical, because if your leaders don't know how to create the right culture, and part of that culture is happy people that feel taken care of, they feel safe, right? They feel part of something that's bigger than numbers, right? So many of you just, you're so freaking focused on numbers that you're making the team miserable because you're not motivating them, right? But that's why you've got to be a great leader to define and set the right culture. So when you're not looking, the employees will go and implement the sales, hospitality, communication, verbiage, presentation, psychology. So they know what to say, when to say, how to say, why to say. That's what that psychology is. And I could go on and on. Those skill sets that we teach all of you are amazing skill sets backed by years upon years of expertise and proven success. But if you don't have the right culture, this consumption process of every interaction up to sale and after, the employees are not going to implement it at a high enough level for it to work and create a famous brand. Right? Digital marketing is another piece. I get asked all the time, why do you do digital marketing and coaching? Well, it goes back to the founding principle of this company, and it is customer experience. We want to help you control every interaction before and after sale. So digital marketing is a part of that consumption process. It's part of the consumption process as people shop for you. But if you get really innovative, even more importantly, you can use digital marketing to get people who just scheduled to actually show up to their appointment, their reservation, whatever it is. You can use digital marketing to shorten appointment times in your office. You can use digital marketing to educate your customers about the food, right? Obviously, in our niche, we use that to reduce the start appointments for the Invisalign delivery appointment, braces delivery appointment, whatever else you're doing, right? Because so many times your assistants are sitting there repeating themselves 1,000 times. Your patient isn't even listening, and then you wonder why they're not compliant. Well, if we use really cool video marketing, we can not only get them to retain the information better, be compliant at a higher level, but now we shrink the appointment times at the same time. Now, the beauty is as people are watching that and your views are going up, you get the backdoor play and get more new patients because you get better visibility on YouTube and Google as new patients search for you because they're all intertwined, right? And today's not the episode for that. Today is purely what is customer experience, right? And that's what I read. And as a leader of your organization, these are the things that you must focus on. You cannot focus on numbers, right? Numbers, it's like focusing on the weight scale. You cannot control it, but you sure as hell can control reducing calories, lifting weights more, doing more cardio, holding yourself accountable. That you can control. Right? So if your focus shifts to the controllables, you win. If your focus shifts to constantly talking about customer experience with your team, you're going to win because that in itself will build a better culture because you're not finite-minded building everything around numbers. You got to build everything around experiences. And when you think this way, sales and referrals and compliance and all these things, they start to take care of themselves. It's kind of an amazing thing. The people that worry about the numbers typically don't succeed. The people that worry about the experience crush the people that are worrying about numbers while they're not worried about the numbers. They're worried about experiences. And for all of you, understanding the true definition, the psychological, by the book definition of customer experience, by you understanding that and focusing on it, you instantly become like a Michelin star restaurant and a five-star, five-diamond hotel like the Broadmoor that I was referencing earlier. These are their focal points. Those are what they obsess over. They obsess over the technology, the communication, the verbiage, the presentation, the psychology, hospitality, sales skill sets, et cetera, via every touch point along the consumption process. And I wanted to do a short podcast today to just clarify this. Stop using the word experience, everybody, when you don't even know what it is, right? Today, you learn the true definition of customer experience. And if you want to know the true definition of employee experience, it's the exact same thing, right? It's how their consumption, via every interaction they have with your business, they have with your people, they have with each other, right? Throughout the whole journey, right? Prior to them being hired and after, right? And all of these, I'm going to create multiple podcasts within, because that last one that I just said about employee experience, that is a topic that we could go very, very much in depth with. But not only do you have a consumer customer journey before and after sale, you also have a consumer employee journey before and after hire. And I want you guys to always remember that it's every touch point. That is the definition of customer experience. And if you're focused on it, you will win. It doesn't mean that you're going to have your greatest year every year, but you will always win the infinite journey and definitely beat the finite-minded people. I hope everybody enjoyed this brief podcast today, but very impactful and very powerful, hopefully for all of you, to walk away going, now I know what the true definition of customer experience is. Now I've got to go make sure that every touch point of that consumption process leading up to sale to increase sales, and then after to increase compliance and referrals and video testimonials and five-star reviews and turning customers into fans, patients into fans, right? If we focus on that, we are going to crush it. If we invest the money to focus on that, we are going to crush it. Shift the mindset. I'm glad you know what customer experience is now. And as always, thumb this video up if you're watching on YouTube. Make some comments for us. Share it with friends, colleagues, family, anybody wanting to transform life, career, and business. Same with all the audio experience channels out there. If you're listening, write us a 5-star review. Thanks for the following, everybody. We keep rocking it. Like I think I said last podcast, up to 127 countries we have downloads in now. We keep growing. So hope everybody enjoyed today. Focus on this consumption journey. Every interaction, I want you to think about every interaction. I want you to map it out before and after sale. And I want your goal to be, how can we make every one of those interactions unique compared to anywhere else they could spend their money? Forget about your own industry. Look beyond. And if you're being a true people business, like all of you are, no matter if you're a restaurant, if you're in our niche in orthodontics and dentistry and other specialty practices, all of you, no matter what industry you are, no matter what product you have, no matter what service you have, you are all in the people first business. And you need to make sure that everything you are doing via every interaction leading up to sale and after is showcasing your people business in a more unique, innovative way than anybody and everybody else out there would ever even dream of. All right? Do it. You will win. We will see everybody on the next episode of The Brian Wright Show. Talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.